Oh
do you
damn,
face
No, wait,
reveal?
wait,
And
wait.
then
Oh, boy.
Universe, can you stop talking, please, please, please? Listen, Casino,
Oh my
Casino.
definitely not black. That's funny.
Hold
Here
on,
we
can I
go.
talk? Casino. The first question I asked you was,
definitely
"Are you
not.
black?" And you said
100%
no.
you're not.
I didn't wait. You asked the other guy that, not me.
Oh, I
didn't
thought that was
Can
you that
respond to
make
No,
responded.
it
a
wasn't me.
Can you make
Oh,
a
boy.
rule?
I thought that was
you
you.
have their camera on this shit, like for real, dude. This dude's talking about like, oh, we can say hard R. What's the difference between hard R and A? Put your camera on, bro.
There's a
You
difference
black?
between
Put your
hard R and
camera
A.
on, head ass. What are you doing, bro?
Okay.
Weak ass shit.
I
Put your
haven't
fucking
done
camera
face
on, dude.
reveal.
Right
Okay,
fucking
so
now. Yeah, it's because you're ugly
I
as shit.
haven't
I get
done
it, bro. But
ugly
like,
as
fuck
shit.
real.
Who
Put
the
your
fuck
camera
do you
on,
think
dude.
you are?
Like
What
head
the
ass,
fuck?
bro. Like weak as shit, bro. Put your fucking camera
Weak
on.
as
You have to
shit?
talk to me.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like, bro. I don't give a
Cameras.
fuck if we've had I don't give a fuck if we've had a normal ass conversation before. Put your fucking camera on. I'm gonna mute your fucking ass, dude. Like you're weak as shit, bro.
You're gonna
Put your
mute
fucking
me?
camera
Okay,
on.
fine,
Yeah,
mute
I
me.
mean, fucking
You
that's
can mute
fine.
me
I'll
if
mute
you
you the
want,
whole
but
fucking stream, bro. Dude, put your camera on, bro. Don't be weak. I don't give a
I'm
fuck
so
what you
pissed.
look like.
It's
Dude,
not
there's
about
people
fucking
that come in
being.
here. There's people that come in here being overly
Bro,
and shit. Put
hey,
your camera on.
calm
Show
the
us you're not
fuck
black.
down. It's not
Show
about
us
not
you're
being.
black, bro. Show us
It's
you're
not
black
a.
for real.
It's not about
Kino,
fucking
take
being
the
weak.
Head ass, bro.
It's
That's what
about
I'm saying.
Hey,
It's
there
about
is
a.
a. Hey,
If
wait,
I can
Casino.
finish my fucking sentence,
For
it's not
real,
about
bro.
being weak.
I don't give a shit about
It's
your
about
sentence.
a policy about like the arguments being able to
You're
to,
still
to
not
like
showing your
stand on.
camera. Like, who gives a fuck what you say, bro? You have nothing to
No,
back
but
it. All of
Casino,
us have our camera on. Why are you
Casino,
the
that
only one that don't?
no,
Are you,
I'm
are you
trying to
done?
throw Casino a
Weak, bro.
bone,
I'm
but
just
he won't
muting
let
this
me.
nigga, bro.
Are you
Casino,
done?
that was a
Yeah.
guy who
Oh,
had
shit.
a similar take to you, and he also didn't want to put his camera on. So what he did was he turned his camera on and he showed his hand and he was like, "Y'all, I'm
Like,
black."
do it
And then
one time, bro. One
he
time.
didn't show
Show
his
us that you're
face,
not.
but he just showed, "Hey, y'all, listen, I'm black." And then
No,
we were like, "Oh,
it's
okay, cool. He is black."
I'm not
Show
like
it. Just one
him,
time.
but
That's all I'm saying. One
again,
time. You don't have
it's
to do
not
the whole
about
stream. Just
being.
do it one time.
Let me
Let's turn the
fucking.
lights on.
Talk
we didn't-
all this. I
no,
can't
but
hear
we-
you because you
no,
know
wait.
Casino, come out into the light.
Casino,
Like,
I didn't
for
say
real,
you were.
Tell
I
me
didn't say
when you
you
guys
were
I'm telling you,
are
man,
done
it's
being
just
dumb
weak,
fucks,
dude.
and
It's
then
just some
I'll
weak
I'll
ass.
start talking.
I'm gonna type on the internet. I'm gonna talk on the internet with my fucking force field. Like, dude, put your camera on, bro.
Tell
Weak
me
as
when you're
hell.
done
Like, for real.
bitching, and then I'll respond. Are you done now?
Casino, why so
Keisha?
hostile? Did I
Can you
asking for
respond?
it?
Can you respond to me though, Casino?
Okay. Let me respond to the other guy first though. It's not about being weak, and it's not about
I'm
being
fucking
scared
dead,
to use
man.
cam. I'm gonna do face reveal once I reach like I think it was 200,000 on YouTube. That's my goal. But like it's about my arguments being able to stand on their own, and like people not being able to judge your arguments based on your race. All right. That's why. And I'm saving that clip for later, actually, for like me definitely not being black. All right. That's
Can
all
I
I'm
ask-
gonna say.
Can I ask
Like,
what your subscribers are
Hold
at
on,
now?
wait,
If
wait,
we go
wait.
over
Hold on,
200?
hold on. No, wait, hold on.
Just
wait.
say the number. I want to know.
If you try to clip me
It's
out of
at
context when
42.
you
I'm
understand
not
that I
talking about
thought
you. I'm talking about the other guy.
okay,
The
I
other
just wanna
guy
make sure.
said that like
Dude, bro, who gives
I'm
a shit if
definitely
this dude
not black.
clips anybody? He's got like what, 3 people that fucking maybe follow him.
42
Who
right
gives
now,
a shit, man?
Well,
I
who
just-
cares?
Honestly,
I
bro.
mean, we all
This dude
start
doesn't even
somewhere,
show
right?
his camera, bro. Nobody respects that
Yeah,
shit.
we all gotta
Like, get
start
the fuck up
somewhere.
out of here.
We all start
Like,
somewhere,
nah,
but
who gives a
okay.
Yeah,
shit,
if
bro?
I
Get the
can't
fuck
see
up
you,
out
you're
of
not a
here,
real
weak
person to
ass.
me.
Like,
So
for real, weak, muted as
Bro,
fuck,
you could
bro.
be Asian,
I can't
bro.
even. I can't even hear you. We had like a normal. I
Oh,
remember
y'all
you. We had a
can't
normal
see?
conversation. The fact that you're doing this weak ass shit right here, just like no respect for that ass, bro. Like for real.
At
Just
least
put
be
your
like
camera on one
Marks.
time.
Be like Marks
What
and
does-
put on the
What does
virtual.
strength have to?
Dude,
what
you're
does
being
strength
called out
have
like
to do
hella
with?
bad.
Hi,
Like, bro,
Anthony.
nobody's gonna
Hold
respect
up.
what the fuck you
Stardust.
say.
Wait, hold
How
on.
you doing,
I
What the
Stardust?
fuck are you
Wait,
doing?
hold on.
man?
Okay,
I don't-
all right. Whoa,
I
whoa,
don't-
hello,
okay.
Prime.
If you're calling me,
whoa!
I-
Shut up! Everyone, shut up. Thank you. Okay, right. So, I'll let that go on for a little bit. So okay, I'm jumping into this. To Minus members, yes, if you want to join, exclamation point open in chat. Let you know how to do it. Thank you, Gio Gambit, for putting it in. But I'll throw one in one more time for anyone else. This open walk on panel where you can join in. We have still some spots left, but don't miss out because sometimes people miss out and be like, oh, I want to join. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, it's full. So don't miss out. Now's the time to jump in, right? So apparently, while amazing individuals like our local monster Leo was helping us out with that hype train. Drama happened here. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew you guys weren't sitting quietly waiting for me.
Integration, Prime. Integration, bro.
Right, but ain't no drama, dude. Just tell Casino to turn his mic on. Every single other person in this room got his
Mic
mic on.
on?
Kick this
Okay.
dude out.
Camera
of here.
on, you mean?
For real.
But,
But it's
okay, so back to what you said before.
Oh,
I don't
no,
care.
hold on,
that-
hold on,
Am I
hold on,
am I wrong?
Like,
Hold on, this ain't your panel, bro. This ain't your show.
show. Stop.
No, my bad. It
Yeah.
ain't.
No. Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
it's bad.
that,
Fine.
that was my fault. Sorry. My fault. I hit the wrong button. But
So you were yelling at yourself out of the room. That's hilarious.
yeah, I was like,
I'm kicking this guy.
I clicked the wrong button. No, Discord added a new feature, and like it's like when you hover over the button in your taskbar at the bottom, you have like you can stop your camera, you can disconnect and all that. That wasn't there before, and I accidentally clicked it. That's my fault. But thank you all for being here. So I'm gonna introduce you all. Then we're gonna jump into it, right? Because I know some people here had some issues with what was happening during the panel. They had worries we want to say. I'm gonna give you a chance to say it, right? So we can move past whatever the fuck this is. Okay, so or get right
That's
back
my
to it.
bad, honestly.
No,
That's my bad.
Don't worry about it. Thank you, Azzy, for coming through. Really appreciate it. And you who just got another gift sub from our local monster Leah. Azzy, thank you for being here, especially since you're part of our All Black Everything panel in the past. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Prime. It's glad to be here. I love it when we get integrated. I love it. The drama just escalates tenfold. It's amazing.
Same here. Brento Box, always the friend of the channel, always a good supporter here, and we're always happy to have him around. Brento Box, how you doing today, buddy?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm doing great, dude. That was a really entertaining panel to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Again, guys, if you missed it, exclamation point YouTube, we'll have it up there soon enough. Next, we're going to Clearus. Clearus, thank you for stopping by once again. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Doing good.
Yeah. Eagle Eye Valor, our illustrious YouTube editor, and mod, who will be putting on those clips on YouTube as soon as he can. Eagle Eye Valor, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm all right, and I'm so happy to have you around. Next, of course, we have GSU Gambit coming back at us from the previous panel. He said he put his money where his mouth is. He said, "No, we're coming back." By we, he meant him alone. But that's okay. Everyone else abandoned me. That's cool. But thank you, GSU Gambit, for being here. Next, we have Nate Gino. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for being part of the community here. Nate, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a French Canadian hanging out on the internet. I like to, talk a little bit about politics and stuff like that. I like to understand stuff. And, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. French Canadian. All right.
First day of a 2-week off from work.
Okay.
I'm feeling good.
Now, yeah, all right. This is a perfect place to spend your time, right? Whether you're at work or away from work or at if you're asleep, you can put the panel on the background. It'll relax you, definitely. A perfect way to chill out. But thanks so much. All right. Next, we have the wonderful Stardust. Stardust, thank you for coming back once again, despite
Thanks for
this
having me.
insanity that usually happens around here. Thanks for coming through.
I appreciate you having me. I enjoy it every time.
Oh, all right. She says that now. She hasn't been around long enough. Thank you, seriously. Next, of course, we have Swamp Fox. Swamp Fox, how you doing out there?
Pretty good. First time being sober on this panel, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I sold my graphics card for like $1,300, 400% markup.
Nice.
So now I'm on my phone streaming.
Oh, good.
I'll buy a new
Wait,
graphics card in a year.
Which
when I
graphics card?
5700 XT.
Oh, okay.
It was like a $300 card that I sold for 400% more because people are dumb.
If you're just using using a camera and not using your background, the background you already been using, then you can just stream. Like, I don't have a graphics card in this computer. I've been doing all of this, so.
Yeah, but I have a 3700X. It's not like a dual card or CPU that'll run graphics.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Let's.
I have a laptop though, so we'll get that. We'll figure it out.
All right. Next, Universities. Thanks for stopping by once again. We're always happy to have you. You always have a lot of energy for these panels. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm about to have a lot more energy tonight, man.
Oh boy.
Sure.
Oh boy.
One night I get to drink in like a month, so it's gonna be fun for me.
Okay.
I'm muting Casino until he fucking shows his face, so he's muted. I don't give a fuck what he says. Fuck that.
Gotcha. Next we have
Man hates me. Goddamn.
Your Environment Seattle, who's kind enough to join us again. It's a rare treat to have you here, Seattle. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Oh, pretty good. So to correct one small thing, Katarana and I are going to be talking on Touring News next Thursday. Let's see, would that be 4 p.m. Pacific? That's rewind that 5 hours and then go forward 1 week. That's when we're going to be talking about, just whatever she wants to talk about. But I like to talk about energy. That's the general subject of my show on Touring News. On my own channel, Your Environment Seattle, I've been streaming a little bit of eco and just general, nuclear energy is perfectly cool and based. And, you might be a little racist if you think your DNA is perfect right now.
That's fascinating. Oh man, that's like he's baiting us right there. And then finally, Casino coming through. Looks like you're being a punching bag today. Casino, you causing trouble once again?
Yeah, people don't really like my take that that there's a difference between a white person saying the N-word with the ER versus A. That's very controversial, I guess. But yeah,
boy,
that's the conversation we were having, and people got mad. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can jump back into that.
Oh boy.
So okay, we'll talk about, because people had some comments about like what was said during the closed panel, especially on the N-word debate. What a surprise! The N-word debate is popular here on Twitch. Who would have known, right? I certainly didn't pick that topic for clicks. Certainly not. Any which way. So two of the individuals here. Yeah. What do you all think? You guys who haven't been part of the previous panel, definitely want to hear your takes. Watch yourself. Don't fucking TOS me. But well, if you have an opinion, I will hear it out. So whoever wants to jump in.
Yeah, I'll just say. So Gamba, you were giving a take earlier, and I mean, I can totally understand. I totally do understand this idea that it's like black people shouldn't be fired for saying the N-word in the workplace, right? But the problem with that is that like everybody has to be held to like a completely equal standard in the workplace, and you can't have any kind of caveats like, oh, you identify this way, or you're this race, or you're that sexuality. Otherwise, like, because there's no way anyone could ever hold that standard, right? I mean, you can't do that. Like, it's impossible. Otherwise, people could go around.
It's illegal, actually.
Well, it is illegal. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point, right? I mean, the point is like someone could use the F slur for the gay F slur, and then be like, well, I'm gay, and it's like, oh,
wait, but
are you? Who knows?
Did you not hear my point on the panel on this though?
I thought I did, but you can go ahead and tell me if you clarify. Oh, but yeah, I did hear you say that maybe no one should, but go ahead.
No, I didn't say that. I said that the idea that white people should have power to tell black people whether nigga is bad or not is silly to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you're at their job, though. You're working for them. It's their rules, right? Who are you?
I mean, it's not like it's like wait, hold. Can I just answer? I mean, I understand what you're saying, right? But it's like, but black people would hold white people to the standard that they can't say the N-word, right?
Socially, yes.
Yeah, socially, but it's also, I mean, like within a workplace, you're kind of enforcing like a social norm. It's certainly not like a legal norm, right? So it's like, I mean, if you're going to say like, well, white people can't say this word, but black people can. Okay, sure, but within a workplace, you can't have like these segregated laws for what words people
which is hold on. Did you not hear me say that there's two possibilities? One is you say white people can't say it and black people can, or you say there is no workplace policy against saying it.
Yeah, but then you said white people get their ass beat.
Yeah, no, that's
yeah, but that's a workplace policy. You can't get there's a policy against ass beatings.
There should be a policy that says that white people should get their ass beat. I'm saying that that's what generally happens when white people decide to say the word whether they should or not. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that that's what happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I
But
mean,
it's
you're
like,
kind of saying that it is right though. You're
No,
implying that.
wait,
that,
no,
like,
no, no, no.
that should
Listen,
happen.
listen. If there are consequences to using language and you use that language knowing the consequences, that doesn't mean it's right. I'm just telling you what'll happen, generally speaking. Generally
Yeah,
speaking, if
wait,
you run up on
Casino.
black, you don't agree that generally speaking, if you run up on black people saying nigga, you should be prepared to fight.
I mean, yeah, that's probably what's
So
going
me
to happen.
saying,
But we're
so me
talking
saying
about,
that so me saying that if white people decide to go to jobs and say nigga, that's likely what'll happen.
yeah, but then the whoever hits them gets fired. That means black people get fired, and white people would still be able to say it.
I have an idea.
You can't hit people at work, even if they say the N word.
Oh, go ahead, Swampbox.
How about we just ban unprofessional language in the workplace, just in general?
I agree with
Well,
that.
that's-
Everybody gets
Yeah,
held
I
the
think
same.
in the
Everybody-
workplace
yeah.
that's probably effective. Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
is
then
the standard.
And then
It's
It
kinda
typically
hard
is
to
in
change it.
any type of corporate environment that you work in. That's going to be the case. There's not going to be a thing where you can just run around saying like,
But
No,
it is
no,
like
nobody.
kinda hard
Wait,
for people that
wait.
grew up in that environment to not just say it. It's like if you like I grew up, like I said to Gambit, we were having this. I would love to hear what Casino has to say, so y'all know why I muted this motherfucker. But like I grew up in that environment. It's really I have to try not to say that shit. I'm saying I want to know what Casino has to say, so like people
About
they're
what?
wondering why the fuck I muted him.
Okay.
Fuck I muted the motherfucker. But like for me, like I grew up in Chicago, like I grew up saying that word, but I have to, I have to not say that around a lot of people. Like,
Oh wait,
'cause that's-
what did I not
it's
see?
specific people that I can say that around,
Well,
like people that I know, people that I fuck with heavily, that I've known for a long time, that know who the fuck I am. No, I'm not saying it like that. But in a workplace, that's really hard to. But
Well, you
it's-
just said
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't you
I do
don't
think
say
it
it
should
around
be-
people you don't know. Then just do that when you go to work.
Yeah, and I think that's easy
So-
to do. But I'm saying that's why it's easy for me to do that. But
Could be called the
I hate to-
appearance of impropriety. Go ahead.
So I hate to tie two different issues together, but I think workplaces are like kind of a sacred space, right? So I think it's important that we maintain some level of purity, whether that's like language or behavior. Like the other day we were talking about like hitting on people in the workplace, and the way that you do that and the way that you go about doing that, right?
You don't.
Yeah, you don't, right? And
Yeah.
and so just like that, you shouldn't you probably shouldn't use any language, no matter who says it. Any language, if it can come out of somebody's mouth and be interpreted in a bad way, then probably nobody at that workplace should be saying that. It doesn't matter, right?
Fucking true.
There has to be some purity. It has to be a place where everybody can feel like they can go and they can work, because we don't have a choice
Yeah.
in
No.
having to go to work. We don't have a choice in having to go to work. We have to work, right? So we have to make sure that that place of work is a place where equally everybody can go and not feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
like
would
when
say
I say I'm gonna blow up the bathroom at home all the time, but if I say that at work, I'm probably gonna get in trouble.
I would
Hey,
say
If
well,
I said that at work, that would really not go over well.
I think most people know what that means. You about to dump
I worked in an airport and people used to say that shit all the time. No,
Yeah, you about to think that shit
Yeah,
down.
I feel like I would not.
but no, I think it's specifically blowing. I think what you're talking about is the
The blow up,
specific.
yeah.
Say you can blow it up would probably be the what's not received well.
Yeah.
Or are you
Yeah.
talking about just
Yeah.
saying that you're gonna? Okay.
I mean, it's just like 90% like of the shit I grew up saying, and I still say, like, you don't say it at work. You don't use maybe a certain part of your vocabulary at work, right? Because that's how you get fired. So,
And
So
it's not
I
that
think
hard
everyone
to,
does
like,
that.
get rid of
entirely
these words.
agree with
We
this
had
point.
our
I almost entirely agree
like
with this, with the exception of basically
Yeah, like
certain industries where expressiveness is important in arts. So like say for
Yeah.
example, like a black rapper that's singing a song, I think should have every right to say it because that's technically their workplace. They should be able to say that. Or
Yeah.
say like a comedian or something like that, they should be able to say it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're in a professional work setting where you have to be in close proximity to your coworkers and you're supposed to like do a lot of teamwork, then I think probably that's very different.
When you say black rappers, why did Logic not get a bunch of backlash then?
He's not black. I mean, he is black,
Yeah.
but he also doesn't say nigga because of the
Logic's
optics of it.
He's half
He
black.
actually has black? I
Yes,
thought he-
he
Yeah.
does kind of.
He's
but
he's black. He's
Eminem
specific.
used to say it.
Nah, Eminem.
Nah, he said it
Yeah,
once,
he,
and
he said it a couple of times. I'm pretty
he said
sure.
it. He said it
I'm
once, and
100%
Look, we're
positive.
not
that,
canceling
that was
Eminem.
backlash for him
No.
saying it.
I'm not
Sure,
like
Eminem
he
was
might
black.
have. No, actually, I'm 100.
He said it once, and there was backlash for him saying it.
When did
Like
he? When did he
publicly.
say that?
I'm sure he's
Like,
used it a lot.
Pretty sure it wasn't a song.
He does
Yeah.
no.
It
he
was a
doesn't.
song.
The song,
It was
but
a-
Logic just used
no
it,
use speculating.
like literally on what's with Eminem. It was in that song, the same song. I forget what the fuck it was called, but you know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah, I mean, he used to say that. I think he said it maybe he said the N word once, but he
No, no,
definitely
not
said
a- one
he said the
fucking-
F word a whole bunch.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
Everybody said that word a whole bunch back when
Yeah.
it was like socially
But hold on,
acceptable.
yeah, but hold on, but
Why
sure,
rappers
sure.
never said that
But
Gamer
if he,
word.
so if he had said the F word, referring to our LGBT brothers and sisters, right? If this cop had said that and gotten fired, would that have been right? And let's say, assuming
Yeah, I
he's
think
straight.
that's
Yes.
Yes.
If the cop said
Yeah.
like the F word and then
Oh
got
wait,
fired, that'd
my
be
bad. I
perfectly
was
fine.
mixing
Yeah.
up the F word with two different things, and my bad.
Yeah,
I was thinking,
sure.
fuck, nah,
But the
I get what you're
question
No, a lot
also
of
would have
people
been
did
if
say
the
that
cop was
word. I
gay
was
and
never
said it,
one who
right?
said that,
That's
but-
different. That's a little more
You
like
didn't grow up
closer.
at
Not-
that time then, because that was like a really common thing that people said. At least
What the
Yeah.
F
Around
F
my high
word?
s-
No,
the F- the
I
F
think
slur
it's
word,
different
yeah.
for
was really
girls. I
common
think
back
it's
in the
different
day.
for girls because
Sure, it is different for girls.
I didn't grow up saying that. Yeah.
In the South, everybody pretty much said it.
yeah.
And the North people
sure.
said it
Well, they
too.
use
It was
that,
just
they use
said.
that word for cigarettes too. I grew up where people said, not really, but like my grandpa.
Yeah,
said
no,
shit.
you didn't.
Not here in the States.
I didn't grow up in that era, but my granddad says that shit, which is to me like pretty
British
fucked up.
But
You
okay,
can
so
say
the point,
swear,
yeah.
sig, anything.
So the point is that okay? So are we saying, Gambit? Do you agree that if he had said the F word referring to our LGBT brothers and sisters, that like the same guy that him being fired, would that have been okay?
Okay, wait,
it's
because I
personal
think people may misunderstand where I am. There are absolutely words that universally, Jesus, y'all just made me lose this game of chess.
Yeah.
Latex, I hate you. I'm gonna let my time. Yeah, I gotta. Okay, yeah, okay. So there are things that are universally bad, and I agree that universally bad things should be put on some sort of list like this. I don't agree as far as the extent that STR went. I think that that's a part where we can get far too much into cancel culture, but I do agree that there are words that we can collectively say these have no place in society for sure.
Okay, all right.
I don't think nigga is one of those words at all, though.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I'm not saying
Hold on,
not
hold
in
on.
society.
One-
I'm not
one-
saying not in society.
One second.
I'm saying
I'm
in
saying just in the
workplaces. In
workplace.
workplaces,
One
yeah.
second.
I'm saying that only words that are bad, that we all deem bad, mostly in society, those are the only words that should even come up for discussion about a workplace policy.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
okay. So, all right. So you're saying, I want to be very clear. You're saying that if he had said instead of the N word, the F word, you think it would have been warranted to fire him? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
for
Okay,
sure.
great.
For
So then it comes out that this guy is bisexual, and that that word has been used against him when he tried to date individuals, right? Like male individuals. Now, is it still warranted?
Hold on, wait. I'm not.
He's
I'm
saying
not
he's
sure.
homosexual, and
It's a
now he's
hypothetical.
using the F word.
Yeah. So he's like, it's the exact same
bisexual.
situation. Exact same
Yeah,
situation.
No, it's not. I don't, and I could be wrong. So educate me, and if I'm wrong,
Okay, sure.
then my answer is going to be yes. I don't think people in the LBGT have started to use the F word.
they
as
have.
like,
Yes,
No,
they have.
they
Yes,
they
they
use it
have.
a lot.
They
Actually,
use it
It's
often.
very
Yeah,
common.
Yeah, I mean, I've
So this
been
is-
I've
Damn
been
it.
a lot.
no. So this is where I'm ignorant, right?
Okay, sure.
And I have learned something,
Okay.
and my answer would be the same as it would be for nigga, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, no.
If there's a
Fucking-
context where
So close.
if there's a context where a group that had a word used against them is now using that word themselves for whatever reason, then I'm okay with it.
But so
every
here's the
time,
thing.
every
So
time.
how can you enforce it against a group of people?
No, it's just
in the workplace, though?
it's the same thing that I said earlier. So
Yeah, I
listen,
know, but
no, I'm trying to answer.
go ahead,
right?
go ahead. Sure.
Okay, just like when I said the word nigga, either you have two options. You either make a policy that's somewhat racist in implementation, and you say, "Hey, the oppressor, the traditionally oppressor group cannot use this word, and the traditionally oppressed group can," or you say anyone can say the word. Those are the only two options, though. If
why can't the option be nobody says it?
Because I think that's just a way of the oppressor group using their power to legislate things that the oppressed group that they're claiming to be trying to help is against. So if that's the case where people in the LGBT feel like, hey, this word is like integral to our community and there's some value in it and we want to be able to call each other this, I think that the very hard conversation you have to have is, do you want to implement a policy that's discriminatory in implementation, or you have to allow everyone to say it?
I'm confused. Are you talking about? Are we still talking about in the workplace?
Discriminate on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
illegal.
So if I can step in real quick. How do you determine, because this is where it gets real gray, right? We're going to start having to determine who is the oppressor and who's the oppressee in every single situation when it comes to speech in the workplace, right? Like if somebody
No.
Yeah.
You have a clear law that identifies a clear rule at your workplace that identifies who's
how
and
do
what.
you know that person?
That's not an option. You can't
specifically
even
is an
do that.
oppressor?
That's
No, 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 no,
illegal.
wait,
Don't
wait,
even
wait,
talk
no,
about
no,
this.
no.
It's pointless.
No, no,
You can't even do
no.
that. You literally can't do this.
No,
It's
no, no,
pointless
no.
to talk
Listen,
about.
no. You're not listening.
Keep going,
You're not
keep
listening
going.
to me. I'm not advocating for either of these, but you asked me a question, so I gave you the two options. One of those two things are what I support. I don't give a fuck what you support. Somebody asked me, what do I support, right? I support one of those two things. So if one
that
of
a
them
false
seems
choice?
no, listen, no. If no,
Gambit, I
it's
thought
not.
you just said you don't condone, but now you're saying that one of the two choices that you're giving for the situation you do condone.
No, I'm saying that morally. I'm saying
Okay, one at a time. Hey, one at a time. Okay, it's very hard. One at a time. Everyone, one at a time. Gambit's trying to get his point out.
Yeah, I'm saying that morally, because of the way power structures work, and because of how oppressors can make rules to actually hurt the oppressed, while like evoking a massive amount of morality for it to like a lot of stupid people on the left. Because I understand those power dynamics, these are the only two things that I'm okay with morally. I'm not talking about legally, right? I'm talking about morally. That's how I feel. You can disagree with either of the two options. You can disagree with both of the options. You can present a third option. But if the question is, what does Gambit believe? I believe in only those two options.
Okay.
I don't
problem
understand
is-
how. I don't understand how you can play like the like oppression card with that. You can just have a workplace that says, I don't want it to be acceptable for people to say those types of words, bar none. Like nobody says anything like that.
I didn't say
Nobody
that
swears,
you can't.
nobody.
I didn't say that you can't legally have that.
I guess we're just trying to decide which one is best. Like what
So,
should
no, you're
people
saying,
do?
no, it's not that. He's saying that it can be a tool of the oppressor can be used against the oppressed.
Which is
That's
exactly what
he's
it is
That's
today.
what he's.
Yeah.
That's what he's
It's a whole
saying.
bunch of white liberals
To
saying,
say
"Oh,
that nobody
makes
can
me
say
feel
it?
so gr-" No, it's a whole bunch
No,
of
he's
white.
not saying that.
No, I'm not saying
The whole
that-
tool of the
I'm saying
the whole tool
opposite.
of the.
I'm saying the exact opposite.
I
Saying
guess
that
I think before we get into this like workplace, like there's a difference between like talking in the workplace. That should be just work, you know? You talk about personal shit outside of work. So like before we get into this loop, this is what happens a lot. We loop into this one topic. Like we could move on to something way more like just like why? Like yes, in the workplace you shouldn't be saying shit. Like just move on.
Okay.
yeah, I think that a lot of
we're gonna go to Clearest. Don't worry, we'll get
Clearest,
more.
yeah.
We'll go to Clearest. We'll go to Swamp Fox, and someone else had their hand up. Maybe it was Seattle. I'm not sure, but we'll find you. Go ahead, Clearest.
So to Gambit's, I guess in response to Gambit's point, if you're advocating for something that I think what Stardust pointed out is seemingly impractical, why advocate for that? Because ultimately you have to chop people up into different groups and say you're part of this group, you're part of that group, without really having anything to base that on other than some kind of perceived quality of that person.
Which
And then that
which-
causes all sorts of other problems within the corporate structure. And another thing, and then universities said something else as well about how shouldn't talk about anything personal in the workplace. I think that's just completely impractical. Everybody talks about
Impractical.
something personal in the workplace. How was your weekend? What did you do
Respond to
last
that
night?
real
Did you go see
quick.
a movie?
To
Something
respond
like
to
that.
that real quick. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying think about this racial shit in the workplace. That's that, like, for instance, like I wouldn't say that to, because I don't know Gambit. I wouldn't like, I grew up, like I said, in Chicago. I'd say that to people I know. So when I say like those words, like I'm even talking about anything, any derogatory slur towards anybody, right? Like we were talking, the reason we were talking about this before was because we were talking about like what's the difference between that and like Mick and whatever the fuck, right? Like I could say like I grew up saying midget. I won't say that in the workplace. I grew up saying the N-word. I won't say that in the workplace. I won't say that towards anybody I don't know. But like people that I do know that are black, that I grew up with, that I've been friends with, that I still text, like it's not the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. Separate that from the workplace. So when you're saying like, I guess I shouldn't have said just like personal shit shouldn't be involved in the workplace. But I mean like, yes, you should just ban derogatory slurs in the workplace. That's just like, why are we even talking about this? Who gives a shit? Say that shit to people that you know outside of that if you really want to. If not, who gives a shit?
Okay, so
and if I can,
Go ahead,
I
Sardis.
just wanted to add something in really
Right,
quick. Piggybacking off of what Clearus was saying, like if we have to start grouping people up into who's in this group, who's in that group, who's an oppressor, who's not an oppressor, this is like oppressive and like a discriminatory practice in itself, right? And a lot of assumptions have to be made.
let's go to Swamp Fox has been waiting, and then Seattle.
Hey, so I have an idea. So you ban the language that's unprofessional workplace, and then you do what we did in the Marine Corps. It's called situational awareness. You don't say stupid shit around people you don't trust. I mean, there's people at work that you talk to about bullshit, and there's people at work you're like, oh shit, so and so's in here. We gotta fucking close YouTube. Fucking act like you're working. You know, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. You just watch what you say around people that you don't know or don't trust. You could still make those phrases illegal. Just have some personal accountability for the things you say, and make sure you're not saying them around the wrong people.
Go ahead, Seattle. And Seattle, then Brento.
I don't know why we're making up laws about all this stuff. You know, we can be human beings and we can talk to each other. We can determine the candor of the workplace we are working in. And in finance, one of the workplaces that I had worked in previously, we have this thing called the appearance of impropriety. So it's like you can talk about, what happens if someone does an illegal trade or something in private, but if you do that at all in public, that creates this appearance of impropriety. And similarly, when you're talking about, words describing someone's, protected characteristics, protected classes, I think that it's best if in your workplace you avoid those no matter what you identify at. I think GSU has a great, wonderful, super woke take where the oppressed gets to throw it back in the oppressor's face. That's not
all that happens in America.
I mean, that's I'm pretty surprised at that take from you. It seems like you're slipping something under the door there, but I don't think that this is the reality when it comes to workplace. It's avoiding the appearance of impropriety.
Okay, let's go to Brento and then Azzy. And if GSU wants to respond to all of that, I'll give him space.
Sure. So
Hey, I
just
gotta
answer.
go, Bye, guys.
Oh, okay. All right. Peace out, man.
Have a good one.
I was just going to answer, just to reiterate really quick, in case anyone wasn't here and it was on the panel, a black cop was fired for using the N-word in reference to the people that he was serving in the area at a school. He was talking to his wife in a personal call, but while he was on the job, and got caught on the camera. And being caught on the camera, I'm not sure how it came up then, but then he was fired for it, even though he was black. And that's why the controversy, or at least the question came up of whether or not black people should be able to say the N-word in the workplace. And so that was the whole basis of the discussion. And my take on it, as already said, is just that you can't enforce a double standard based on race or all identities and different types of slurs, and that these types of people get to say that word and these types of people don't. Like, no, everyone has to be an equal human being in the workplace under the exact same rules. There can't be those types of racial divisions or identity divisions or sexual divisions and those types of things.
Azzy.
Yep.
So, if you ever heard of Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire, you can understand that the oppressed can then take on the roles of the oppressor. So this is why I do have a problem with the N-word and words of the like, because because it's true, because black people have used the N-word in a demeaning sense against other black people since slavery, like, and it hasn't gone away.
So yes, Azzy, get closer to your mic. You got to get closer to your mic. You know.
You can't hear me? All right, so let me turn my volume up. So the fact that
you gotta.
The fact that we're
it still sounds like shit, dude.
You gotta.
No, wait. What? I can hear him.
We can hear you. We can hear you, but it's like your mic, like you have to speak directly into it. Because
he sounds like
stop moving.
It sounds fine.
Yeah, he sounds regular.
Not to me at all. But anyway,
it sounds like shit to me.
Sound good to me.
Let me find out. Let me find out.
Man.
Y'all got him turned down to 3%.
He's not.
You have me muted, you fucking asshole.
He's
Shut
not
up.
muted.
Try that, Azzy. Try
Oh
that,
my
try
god!
that.
Please go, Azzy.
See that? Can I just finish the point?
Much
Then
better.
y'all can DM me about
Much
my
better.
mic.
Much better. Go
Nothing
ahead.
changed.
Yes, you did. You just did.
You sound fine, dude.
I just turned my
Just
volume up.
go.
Let
Well,
me keep
better.
going.
And you backed off.
Listen. If the oppressed takes on the position of the oppressor, then they should fall under the same. Yeah, because these rules aren't really for us. Come on, GSU. They're not putting in.
I'm playing chess.
places.
I'm not referencing you. I'm playing chess right now.
Okay.
And like,
you play.
Bruh, how you gonna fucking be playing chess while you in this?
Yeah, this is not easy to do.
I'm playing Rocket League while I'm
as
talking
I'm
about
saying
this.
things.
As
I'm playing Dark
Francis-
Souls while I'm talking. Get out of here.
It's just highly convenient every time I say something. But it's like, like if the guy gets fired because he's becoming an oppressor, boo, man, you should have been more careful. You're in the workplace, you're on job. Maybe if he was off, I'm not even gonna play devil's advocate, or even.
Wait, was he off? Hold on.
No, he was on.
Yeah, he
That
was
was-
on
Okay,
duty,
so no.
he's still on the job.
Shut up, then.
So I guess hopefully, like maybe
that's his fault.
if he was smarter, he would become the oppressor. And again, for the second point, language aren't
You're
against
dude.
us.
I cannot hear
You're
you
bad,
yelling.
man.
I hear what y'all are saying.
You're clipping.
Bro, get a better
You
mic.
get too close.
Jesus.
No.
Just
His
we
mic
gotta
plug
back
in
it off.
or
We gotta
replug
turn
in
down your
is
amp.
professional as fuck.
You gotta
Just-
turn
You
down your
might
amp.
just
That's just a
Seattle,
hand mic.
Seattle,
Don't
what'd
take
you
the
say?
boom off it.
Seattle, what'd you say?
He's got to turn down his amp. Like, I have tuned my amp so I can get right up on here, and I probably sound really loud, but I don't peak and I don't clip out.
You sound exactly the same.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't sound exactly the same.
He
Sounds louder, but yeah, you don't.
Oh,
You
he
don't.
sounds
Well,
exactly the
wait.
same when he starts.
But okay.
Seattle,
yeah.
yell real quick.
So then maybe I turn my game
Yeah, he
down.
does sound exactly the same. no matter
Damn,
what. I see
bro,
what you're
that's
saying.
fucking
Yeah,
tight. You
Yeah.
gotta. Okay,
Bro.
Seattle, I need you to send me your shit. Like,
Yeah.
for you. I need
Okay,
you to
so I'll
send me
just
your
I'll
shit,
just
for
whisper.
real.
All right, I'll be calm.
Oh,
I'll
good.
just whisper. All right, listen.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me
really
proceed
good.
to give you what you need. Yeah.
We just need to get,
Ooh,
a,
yeah,
get
that
not a
sounds
boo boo ass
perfect.
mic.
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds clean.
Okay, so these rules are not put in place to to oppress the oppressed. All right, these rules are put in place to protect us against the oppressor, against white cops, against white people, against
No.
anybody who's generally saying these. Yes, man.
No.
No one's putting in. Yeah, okay. Everybody has to adhere to the rules because we're all in the workplace, but they weren't put in place because black people are out here calling each other the N-word every single day. No, they were put in place to protect the protected groups. And then if the protected groups become the oppressor, you then are now subject to be
Wait, are
you're
you saying
subject to the
N-word
rule.
was created to protect those groups.
No, the
No,
rule.
I'm
These-
not saying the N-word. I said the rule. The rule. You about to get
These-
used up, bro.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Okay,
yeah.
I see what you're saying now.
Who's up?
I just thought you were saying the N-word was created to like protect. Nah, hell no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Finish your
These
point.
rules.
Finish your point, then we can get, let GSU respond to all this, and we might actually move on.
Yeah,
after that.
and then my point is that there's no difference between the N word with an A or the N word with an ER. Like historically,
There's a
people
difference,
always
okay.
said that. People always said the N word with an A because it was, at least in the South, because with a Southern accent, ER typically comes out as A.
Language
that
changes
over time.
That's not how.
Well, come on, yo. That doesn't.
How language worked in the
What did
past
Joe
doesn't
Louis
matter
say?
for how it's used
Mozzarella,
now.
smooth brain. I'm gonna add like the essence of brain.
You
Like,
have
come on,
no
bro.
idea how
You gotta
language
develop the full
works.
frontal cortex. I know how.
If you're trying
yeah,
to, no,
there's-
you don't. Language
Yes, there's
evolves
the
over
colloquial
time and it
sense, you
changes
can
year
use
by
it in-
year.
No. The reason
The
it
history
changed-
doesn't
Well, let him
matter
finish,
for
let him
current
finish.
language.
The reason
let
it
him
changed.
finish.
The reason the
Let
word
Casino finish
changed.
so I
is
can mute his ass again.
You want because the reason the word
No, I'm done.
changed is because within the colloquial
bet
context
you are.
of the social group of Black people, we used it in the with an A sound over time. That's how it changed. The meanings
Okay, and?
really, and there's still still a big part of our group who say no, the meaning hasn't changed. Like we're heavily divided within the Black community about the word. It's not that
Okay.
it all of a sudden just changed. It's just that there's a small a group of us who say it's okay, and that group just had a platform
A
and
small
did all
group?
right in media.
There's not a small
Yes.
group of us.
It's not
really
even a
want Casino-
small
I
group,
really want
I'd argue.
Casino to
Hip-hop
just
at the
speak for
time-
like the next.
Hip hop
My bad,
culture at the time was generally a small group, and it just grew over time.
Okay.
No, we're talking about like the. Never mind. Like
I
the
know
Black.
what he's talking
Casino,
about. He's
community,
saying
like,
the word
for
is
real,
evolved
finish
into
your
something
goddamn
different.
sentence, man. Like,
No,
say what you're gonna say behind your screen, like, bro. Just
Hey, go
say what
ahead,
you're gonna say,
Casino.
so I
This
can.
dude really doesn't
Go
like
ahead.
me.
I muted your ass, bro. Like for real, speak for the next 3
This dude
minutes.
really
speak.
doesn't like me. God damn.
He
It's
does.
not.
your
It's not that I don't
problem,
like you.
Okay.
We had a normal conversation before, like on a different Discord. But like you're saying some weird fuck ass shit, boy. Behind like
Fuck
you
ass
don't
shit?
even show your shit. You don't even show your face.
I literally
Yeah, a lot
just
of
Say what
people
you're gonna
explained
say, so I
why,
can.
but it
So I
went
can.
over your
So
dumb
like
ass
you
head.
can.
But okay.
You can explain to these people in chat and in here why I muted you. Speak, please, on this topic.
I
Like
already
what you said
did.
before. No.
I said it
Say
earlier.
what you said before. Yeah, earlier without
You
being on
can
stream.
indulge.
Say it now.
So
Explained
you don't-
earlier that
Say it
people.
now, bro. Say it now.
He
When
is. He is. Let him relax.
Okay.
When I said people got mad, I was kind of referring to you, like
Who gives
and
a
like
shit, Mo? I had
GSU.
you
But
muted.
yeah,
Who gives a
Just,
shit?
all right, you got
like-
your point across. Let him finish though.
so people got
Yeah.
mad when I said there's a difference between white people saying the N word with the ER versus the A, and then we had some conversation about it, and then you said that like, oh, you're definitely not Black, and then I'm like, okay, but like that makes no
Listen, bro,
sense.
that's
and then,
not what
and then-
what you said, though, is it?
I
You
mean,
didn't say
Let
that
him
white
finish. Let him
people
finish.
can't
Yo,
say it.
let him finish, please. Let him finish.
And then I tried to explain to you that the reason why I don't use cam right now is because as of right now, I'm trying to have my arguments stand on their own and not be tainted by like people judging them based on my race or like I don't know, my height or like my weight. Right.
I
Like,
understand.
there's-
You know.
So like
Yeah.
yeah. So
Sometimes I cut the
when I
the
reach
camera off to get
200
viewers.
like I said before, when I reach 200,000 on YouTube, then I'll do the big face reveal, and then we can go back to all the clips about people saying that I'm definitely not Black, I'm definitely white, you're Asian or whatever, and then we can have a talk about it. But yeah, that's why I don't use cam for now, at least.
But that wasn't my. But that's dude. You're like skipping over what you said outside of this. Like, bro,
If you
talk
want to
about what
have
you
a
said before. I don't
conversation,
care. Okay, let's.
we can
let's
have
say,
a conversation about it
let's say,
later.
like,
I can
here.
bring you on my
Let
server.
me
and we can
explain
talk
something.
about
I
it
didn't
later.
mute
I'm
you.
not.
I didn't mute you based on the fact that you don't have camera. I muted
You
you based on
literally
what you
said that. That's why. But okay.
Okay. All
But
right.
I
You
muted
literally-
based on what
you literally
said.
said-
okay.
was
Okay.
weak
Okay.
because
I don't
I
care.
wasn't using cam,
Shut
but
up.
okay.
Don't
Yeah, it's
care.
fine,
I
it's
don't
fine,
care.
it's fine.
All
It
right.
doesn't
So yeah. Okay. We're moving on.
Jesus Christ.
GSU Gambit. If you want to say
Just gonna
anything
go back.
on any of this, you can. We can find a way. We can move on to something else. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, so much stuff that's been said is incoherent. I don't even know. Like, what do y'all want me to respond to?
Nothing, honestly, because everything you say has been wrong so far. So,
All right,
we
well,
can
okay,
talk
Okay, I
about that
actually
later.
have a question for him, not just a diss, so that's okay. Like,
What's
I guess my question would just be, can you recognize how like every group could identify something where they're like, we get to do this, and people not in our group don't get to, and then but we want that upheld as a rule. But there's too many groups, too many slurs, and too many rules to be fair. So in the workplace, everyone just has to observe the same rule, right?
But wait, oh my God, y'all are embedding so much nonsense. You're still embedding the idea that it's okay to say that people can't say certain words as well. So remember, I gave two options.
Yes.
And I didn't say I was favorable on the first one at all. And it seems like y'all only want to have the conversation about the first one. We can
Well,
do
you
that
can
all
stop
day.
saying that one if you don't like it, because
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's a morally solid position. Whether you agree that people in America want to have like better policy is a different. Like, whether I think something can pass as policy and whether I think something moral are two different conversations. And I was having a moral conversation, and you immediately flipped it to having the conversation about oppressors being in control, which I understand. That's what I love. No. Yes, no. When you say that it's okay for the oppressor to outlaw something that the traditionally oppressed group of that term agree with and actually want to use, you're saying that you want the oppressor to have the power to enforce more restrictions on those people who were traditionally oppressed. And
You're
that
calling
can be
us
your
the
take.
oppressor, right?
Wait,
It's like that's the difference. You're seeing this.
Okay,
from,
wait.
like, the oppression
Wait.
thing, and I'm seeing
Okay,
this from how to treat everybody
this is so stupid. I almost don't want to engage it. Do
Oh,
you
don't worry
think
about
that? Do you think that historically black people were oppressed by white people?
Of course.
Do you think historically that people in the LGBT that were called the F slur in the past were historically being oppressed?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so don't try to have the argument with me about there weren't people that were oppressed and oppressors.
I didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that, Gambit. He didn't say that.
I'm saying you can't. I'm saying that in the workplace, that's impossible to enforce. So everyone has to live under the same standard. You have to work under this one single standard. in the workplace.
Do you think it would be oppressive for people to start sorting you into groups in the workplace and say you can say this, you can't say that? Because I feel like that would be pretty oppressive.
I think for a
They
large
already
amount
do
of
that,
black people,
so-
the answer is that happens now.
Yeah,
it's just only done favorably to oppressors. Yes, that happens today.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's still like
You understand that, but we don't want to
especially-
work on those issues. We just want to give
No,
oppressors
we're-
more and more
we're-
power.
We're,
Got you.
We're
Okay,
literally
perfect.
talking about the N word, right? If we want to talk about workplace oppression, I'm down for it. I've been
Okay,
harassed at work. Okay,
historically, what group was oppressed by the N word?
Black people.
Black people.
People
so don't
actually,
you think it's
actually,
funny? No.
even a lot of people are oppressed by the N word. Even Indians who aren't even African American.
We don't have to.
Actually, hold on.
Because we can do that, Gambit. We can do that. We can talk about.
Middle Eastern
All right.
people, sand inwards, sand inward.
Yeah, sand
Middle Eastern
N-words,
people,
and
like
by the
hell yeah,
way,
what the fuck?
okay, if anybody wants to call me
Everybody's
that,
oppressed by the N word.
Great. So what's your point, Gambit?
My
Even white
point.
people, Asian people will call each other the N word, and
The N word has no racial context. Got you. I've been informed now. Got you.
That's not what they're
that's not the
saying.
point.
So
That's not the point. The point of this
And this is
conversation,
why I
right?
didn't want you to.
There isn't
point
this.
of this
so
conversation.
stupid.
Wait, no, wait.
so
If we're gonna
stupid.
have an honest conversation about this, we're like the
We
point of
can't
this
even
conversation.
agree that the black people were most oppressed by the N word.
We've
Y'all are
all
talking
agreed.
about
I
That's
said
agreed.
that. I said
Nobody
that.
said that,
Wait.
What the
I've said.
fuck?
I've
Listen,
said.
I asked a plain question. I said, what group was traditionally
okay,
oppressed by the N word? And Asshat started
And
saying,
she said
"These
black
are white
people."
No,
Dude,
but there
I
are other
said black
Assats in this
people, right.
conversation as well.
Okay,
Like,
I understand. Okay,
As he said,
But
Indian
we're
people,
talking
somebody said white people. Like, it's stupid. And the fact
No,
that you
no,
want to say
you're
we
right.
can't even have a good faith conversation, y'all can't even say black. Like, if all of you dumb fuck, well, not all of you,
I
not all
did.
of you.
I did
Yeah, but
say
I'm
it.
black, right? You know I'm black,
Rope
right?
Black
us on to
people.
one mic,
Okay.
all right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're not being
Okay,
stupid.
great. All right, good. All right, so Stardust, you want to try to say something?
Yeah,
So-
okay. If we want to talk specifically about the N-word, we're not talking about other forms of discrimination within the workplace, right? We're talking about specifically language that is seen as hateful towards certain groups, right?
Yes.
If we're specifically talking about that, making this distinctions in the workplace over who can say something and who cannot is infringing on everybody's freedom of speech, right? If you're saying that one person can say it and one person can't, it's infringing
That
on
doesn't mean
everybody's
it's
freedom.
infringing equally.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. All right.
Yes.
So it is infringing on people's freedom of speech if you're saying specifically this person can say it and this person can't, right? What I would say is if equally everybody is the same rule is applied, that nobody should say things that can be misinterpreted in the workplace, things that are inappropriate in the workplace, that are unprofessional in the workplace, right? Then it's not so much an issue of infringing on specific groups' rights, right? It's specifically a company policy, right? Because you cannot include who's an oppressor and who's an oppressee in a company policy.
Can I respond? You're starting to loop. Can I respond?
Do you want to keep talking over me? Because I can talk more.
Stop
No, I'll let you talk. You started circling.
You first
No, you
interrupted
didn't.
me.
She was
First
trying
you
to talk, and you kept
interrupted me.
talking over her. What the fuck?
I literally stopped talking, and you just talked.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Please, Stardust, finish your point, and then GS, you can respond.
The point is that you can't have a company policy that specifically splits people into groups and says that these people can say this and these people can't, because it is against the law, as somebody else said, right? And it is in a way a discriminatory policy if we were to put that into place.
I mean, not in a way, it just is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say shout out to Prime, dude? Fucking Jesus.
Doesn't it just seem like
Okay,
so you guys are speaking?
So STR.
God.
Star.
Okay, STR.
Stardust. Stardust is her name. Stardust.
Stardust. Okay, yeah, my bad. Okay. Stardust. It's true that when you say you can't say the N-word, you're taking a power away from everyone. The problem is the nuance. If there's a group of people who don't use a word and there's a group of people who do, when you remove that word, to say that it's okay just because I removed it from everybody is ignoring the entire context completely. And that's what I think y'all are continually doing. So when you say things aren't professional and all of these other annotations that you use for it, you're embedding your own ideology in it to support why you're okay with taking a right from people that fit that like you're if somebody doesn't use something and you take it away, is far different than taking away something that people actively use. So when you say that white liberals that make these rules are trying to help black people, but they're only taking away freedoms that black people use and white. No. Are you okay with taking away the N-word? Because you said other things about, hey, I feel like in the workplace we should try to take away as much things as we can. So I don't feel like I'm straw manning you, but now you want to act like I am. Do you agree that we should take away the N-word in the workplace?
I think if we want it, either if we want to put a policy, yes, then we should take it out. Yeah.
Do you think we should put that policy in? That's the question I asked.
Yes, I don't see.
Okay,
I don't see in a
straw man you, right?
Yeah.
I didn't straw man you, right?
No.
So don't try to give off the appearance that I'm straw manning you.
Straw man me.
Just move on. Just move on from that. Just move on from that. Just make your point. Just hold on. Wait.
I mean, you weasel so much that it's hard to
please stop. There's too much happening here.
I was going to say,
no. No one has about to say anything. Please, come on. I want to handle this one at a time, right? And maybe we can move on from this point because this is exhausting me. So Gambit, she doesn't feel like she was straw manning you. I mean, may have gotten a different impression, but she didn't want to do that. Okay. What else do you want to respond to?
All I'm saying is that these rules are being applied by a class that in each of these circumstances has traditionally been the oppressor. And the two things that we talked about tonight are specifically removing, it's like everything that Fanatic was saying on the All Black panel. It's removing a right from a group of people who feel like there's value in whatever word. And the people who claim to be so upset and so offended have literally nothing to do with the historical oppression of the word. So it's just disgusting to me and stupid that we would say, oh, white people need to be protected in the workplace, and that's why people shouldn't be able to say the N-word. It's dumb. It's just ceding more and more power to
Who said
oppressors.
that?
No one.
Anyone
No one.
who agrees that you should take nigga out of the workplace.
I
Anyone who
just
says
have a
that.
question.
What?
I just have a question. Like
That is
I
so
maybe
fucking stupid.
I just have a
What
question.
kind of
First
zero
off,
head?
first off,
Whoa.
I don't think that is the reason for me. Like for the reason for me is just I think that like especially like with saying like just inappropriate things, right? Like we talked about asking people out the other day, right? That there is a place, there's a place to do that, and I just don't think it's the workplace, right? Now I could be, you know, I could just not have this context, this cultural context, right? I just don't see where for anyone in the workplace where we would use the N-word. Like in what workplace setting would you use the N-word?
Can I
talking
can I try
to black friends at work?
That's not what.
Go ahead. Try it, Doobie. Oh my God. But Doobie, thank you for being here.
Well, I think that there are many issues in this conversation, but I think one of them is that we're kind of equivocating like all workplaces. I think in smaller workplaces, small businesses, right, where there's like a close-knit group of people, they're not going to speak to each other the way that fucking 500 employee dead corporate company might, right? I think the bigger a company gets, the closer they get to sounding like Disneyland with all the corporate speak, right? So it might make sense in a smaller company, like a small business, for people to speak more casually to each other, right? But I think the point that Gambit's trying to get to is that as you know, these companies get bigger, as they start putting in policies on speech and dress code and all this kind of stuff, the default is to move towards something that sounds more stereotypically white, right? Which is why you have these problems that have come up before, where like black women will say, "Oh, you know, I got to put on my white voice at work." Like this is, I think that's what he's getting to, because we're literally erasing the identities of these people to favor the historically oppressive class, because the default way to communicate in society is quote unquote white, right? So you need to store all of your history, all of your fucking personality, and you need to sound like a white person to get by in corporate America. Right? I think that's what Game is trying to get at.
Hold on.
I can
Let's talk
understand.
about this.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about this. You don't sound black and you don't sound white. You sound like you're from certain regions, okay? Like this
Well,
is
I have a question,
actually
Gambit.
no.
So,
This is actually
Gambit,
like
would you be
a
opposed to?
Hold on.
You have him on
Hold on,
mute.
Casino. Sorry,
Okay.
Casino's talking. Let him
Yeah,
talk.
Oh,
him
my
finish.
bad.
Okay.
I have him muted. My bad.
You should turn him on.
Okay, so
Okay.
like this is like a
Nah.
pretty big problem with like basically every single like minority, mostly black people though, who like say that like if you sound quote unquote stereotypically white, like people call you Oreo, or like say that you're like less black, or like you aren't black. Okay, like it's like just because you're black, just because you're white doesn't mean you're supposed to like sound a certain way. That's not how it works.
Yeah, obviously.
But you get your accent from the location that you were like raised in, not from
Not necessarily, but
race,
yeah, I
okay?
understand what you're saying. So, but what you're saying is true. Like I got this a lot growing up, right? I'm a brown person. I grew up in East LA. I was always called a coconut. Right? They said, "Oh, you're trying to sound white," because I didn't do all the fucking ghetto shit that my family did. Right? I made an effort not to do the ghetto shit, right? Because I didn't want to end up like my family. Right? So, like what you're saying is 1000% correct, but I think that saying that someone doesn't sound black or sound white is I think you're kind of missing like a step there, because the truth is, if you're speaking to somebody, it's a pretty good chance when you're speaking to this person, you can kind of pick up based on their dialect, based on the words they use, whether or not they're black or white or Hispanic or whatever the fuck, right? For a lot of people, not everybody, but it's pretty common, right? You can tell where
I would
someone's
disagree
from.
with that. Honestly.
I don't think so.
Okay,
wait,
what
please.
race am I then? Please tell me.
So wait, hold on. So like I said, it's
What
not
do I sound like to
it's
you?
not clear across the board, right? So I just told you that people would used to call me a coconut, and people regularly assume that I'm white when I come on here. Right? So, but I think, Gambit, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you're getting at is that if we start putting these workplace restrictions on speech, right, those restrictions are going to favor the oppressor class because they're in charge, and to these people, what sounds normal and correct is what sounds like them. Is that kind of what you're getting at? And if
Yeah, and as I mean, this is just ceding more and more power to like white power structures. Yes, absolutely. Everything you said is exactly what I said.
I'll catch y'all later.
All right, thank you for being here, buddy.
All right,
Yeah.
see you, man.
There's a we're like the Doobie. The thing you have to understand is that we're in a place that's traditionally uber left, and a lot of people don't understand power dynamics, and they don't think deeply. Whatever can virtue signal and try to like evoke as much like morality as they think they can, regardless of like how disastrous it's implemented. That's all that is cared about in a lot of places, and that's just what this conversation is. And to them, the idea that a black man saying, "Oh no," it's like, "Oh no, Mr. Black Man, I need to protect you. Trust me." Like that's how a lot of these people think, and that's what's wrong. That's why, like, if people actually cared about black people, they fight for economic policy that empowers black people. Instead of that, they fight for bullshit that black people don't want. And they put black squares on their Instagram because they get this morality withdrawal from it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a good person." Like, and that's what a lot of white liberals do. Like, that's just our reality.
Gambit,
That's
who's
the world that
saying
we
black?
live in.
Why can't we just say
saying-
that there's some language that's not appropriate for the workplace, and that's one of those words that's
we're
not
beyond
appropriate for the
that.
workplace?
We're beyond that at this point.
I
Like,
mean,
we
I am saying
understand.
that, but yeah.
But Gambit, who's saying black people don't?
I'd like to
want
hear his
this?
fucking response to that, honestly.
Here's my response to it. I was asked two questions. I can respond to both. Which one?
Okay, so
Go in
Gambit,
order.
I'm hearing a lot of you're saying black people. If you want to support black people, support them economically. But
Yes.
are you trying to say that we ourselves don't advocate for social change? Like we don't want.
Hold on, wait. You clicked out.
Are you
We don't
saying-
advocate
are
for
you
what kind of
saying-
change?
Are you saying that we don't want social change? Like we're not advocating to stop white people, like from saying the N-word in the workplace? Are you saying that we don't agree with these policies?
I'm saying that there's a large section of black people that don't. You could fall on the line of
Yeah, but-
people that do agree with it for sure. But the fact that there's no,
in the spaces.
Say what?
Those people working in these spaces. The people who
You're going
advocate
out.
the use of
I promise you, I'm
these
trying to
people-
hear you.
these people working in those spaces.
Are these people working in those spaces?
For the use of the N-word in the
fucking up
place.
I promise you,
Dude, you gotta.
I'm trying, bro.
I'm telling you,
Skip me
I'm
out
telling you,
for a
Azzy. It makes it very. You gotta get a better mic. And this mic is not working.
Oh,
Whisper again.
I'm telling you, buddy. Like
gotta
it's-
whisper
You
again.
gotta.
I gotta whisper again.
You gotta get a better mic. Is what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Because it makes it
Just
difficult
got
even
this
when you're on a
mic.
panel. Seriously, no, seriously. If you wanna,
How
no,
much-
Azzy,
how much was that
Azzy,
mic?
I'm telling
Somebody
you.
clip it and then send it to him so he can see what his mic sounds
How much
like.
was that mic?
Yeah,
actually?
Azzy,
It was
Azzy.
free.
Azzy, I'm
It's
just
like
letting you know.
100
Sorry,
It was
Azzy. All right, shut up.
100 bucks for
Everyone
that?
shut up. Fuck. Azzy. You gotta get a better mic. Even like it's difficult even to have you on a close panel because it's like 3 hours of this. You gotta get a better mic. It's gotta happen. Do it. Make the
Mine was
investment right
100,
now.
so-
If you want to do
Trying,
anything
bro.
in Twitch
I'm trying,
politics, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. Like if you're gonna be on Twitch
I'm
or you're gonna be on
trying.
YouTube, make it happen because this is a terrible setup. All right.
Somebody-
Let's go to
somebody-
Nate, who hasn't got a
share
chance to
mic.
talk. Nate.
Gambit never answered my fucking question.
I don't care. So, Nate.
Wait, as he just went, I'm not
Nate,
dodging your
Nate,
bullshit
Nate,
question, whatever it was.
Nate.
Yep. To me, right now, it feels like the problem. I'm pretty sure that everyone would agree that there's some bar where we should set language at work, where there can be inappropriate language that we would want to avoid. For some people, the stuff like the N word, the A one, is inappropriate, and for other people, it isn't. Maybe like the problem is somewhere within there. So I think it would be something very hard to enforce in the law or something like that. It has to be reconciliated within cultures. I don't know where the solution is. I'm not the one that can say what should be acceptable. But I wanted to say like what I understood from all of that, and I think I will have to I will just leave the stream right now. I have to go to bed. I'm sorry if I didn't participate a lot because I don't feel I have a lot to add in that. So at least thanks for having me, and I wish you all a good evening. All right.
Yeah, we'd love for you to come back. Have a good one. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make time for that. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adios, mate.
Have a good one.
Okay,
Peace out.
great.
Gambit.
What's
Would you
up?
agree that like the I don't know like Twitch TOS also the C word, right, for like a woman's vagina or whatever. Would you agree that
Mhm.
that's not workplace appropriate?
So yeah, maybe you weren't here earlier. I definitely think that there are words that we can all agree that are not appropriate for the workplace.
Okay, so
Hey,
just like
sorry, one second. Eagle Eye, go into the waiting room. Help us out, all right? Go ahead, Doobie.
Yeah, okay, so I think all you're disagreeing with basically is you're saying that this word has become
What?
widely accepted.
Widely accepted. It's widely commonly used. And I'd agree with you. It's not just among Black people. There are plenty of white, Hispanic, Asian people that just use this word like for like their friends or whatever, right? Like I do it. Like I grew up doing it. And it's one of those things that I've had like trained myself out of to become like a corporate America acceptable, right? So yeah, I totally agree with that. Right. So you're just saying that because this is a part of this group's vocabulary, right? Typically, people who grew up like lower class, it's part of their vocabulary. If we attempt to strip that word from their vocabulary, we're in the workplace.
I don't want to let that stand. I don't think economic class of Black people affects their like popular use of the N word. I don't.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. That's fair. I'm just saying that in my context, right, where I grew up, it wasn't just Black people that used this word, right? It was fucking everybody, and it wasn't. There was no racial connotation when it was used, right? But so where I grew up, like I did grow up very poor, right? But it could be the case now that it's not like just poor people that do this, or people who grow up like in the ghetto or whatever the fuck. So what you're saying is that because it's just part of their vocabulary, if we're stripping this word from their vocabulary, we're in effect attempting to force them to conform to the oppressor group.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't think that's that crazy.
Well, you got to understand the context in which we're having this conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Gambit, I definitely agree with like the frustrations. I think the problem that you run into. I'm a business owner, right? And
me too.
When we were like small, like I had a couple employees that were my friends, right? We spoke way more casually around the office, right? But as it started to get bigger, more people coming in. I had to be like, okay, well, you know, we can't be saying this shit anymore or speaking like this because new employees are going to get the idea that that's fun to speak to customers like that and shit, right? And we just can't have that. We need to look like more professional, right? And unfortunately, in the United States, professional means, what stereotypically like white speak, right?
Yeah, and I mean one easy way you can see that, like I don't know how many of y'all work in corporate America, but I work for like a gigantic organization. At work, people say bitch, fuck, ass, damn. They say all of these words that white people are okay with saying. But because for some reason white people say, "Oh, I feel weird when people say nigger." That nigger, that's why this word is being banned. Bitch, hoe, like none of these words are banned in workplaces. But we're having a conversation about a word that Black people traditionally use, and now we're saying, "Hey, we should ban this." They didn't want to ban it in the '60s, right? They didn't want to ban it at the height of like racial tensions in America. No, they want to ban it now that Black people are using it very colloquially and white people aren't really using it at all. Well, at least not in public spaces.
What
right?
workplace
people
can
do?
you say bitch without being like reprimanded? Please tell me. I want to
God.
know. Like,
I don't want to.
Listen,
are.
I cuss at work. My vice president cusses at work. My I don't know of people that don't. I don't interact with customers. I'm in the corporate.
Oh, okay. Because I know I don't know if there's any workplace where around customers.
For me, whenever
you
I
can,
worked
start
at a
cursing
place,
and not get
especially with language. I mean, I will say, Casino makes a decent point when language is. It's like everybody uses different words in different scenarios, right? Like I wouldn't use certain words around certain people. So like like Gambit was saying, I think as far as banning every word, you would have to ban all these other words that could be derogatory towards other people. If you want to ban that one word, you can't just ban that one word. You have to ban all these other words. So that means you can't say bitch because that's derogatory towards women. You can't say, you just can't say all these other things. When people grew up in these scenarios that just allow this, right? So I think it's like we're talking about business language versus personal language. I think it's just completely different, right? Like most people, when you're working in a business, right? Like I could say, Gambit, you work at a whatever conglomerate or whatever, right? You don't talk the same way to your boss as you would to like your friends.
I absolutely do. I really do.
So, like,
I
you
really,
can't-
really do.
Oh, you do? You talk to?
Yeah, I
you-
treat everybody the same. I don't care if I'm at work, on stream, blah blah blah. Yes, I treat everybody exactly
Okay,
the same.
well, I mean, I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't call my boss a
Weird.
bitch, but that's just me. But like, it wouldn't matter what connotation I was using that in. Like, it just, I don't know. I wouldn't use that. But I wouldn't want to. Like, see, I think if you ban one word, you have to ban all these other derogatory words that, like, maybe in certain connotations aren't necessarily derogatory.
I personally don't think that it's bad if other people use the N word, especially if it's the people who are used to saying it and they're supposed to say it or not supposed to, but allowed to say it. I don't care if it's with an ER or an A. Usually it's with an A, even in the workplace. My thing is, I think that the reason white people have an issue with it is because they can't say it themselves. So even though they can say bitch, fuck, and a bunch of all these other slurs, when they hear other people say that word, they feel uncomfortable because they can't also say said word. And that's what I think the issue is with some people. It's I don't agree with them. I don't even care with them. I'm on your side. GSU. I'm just saying that I think that's why it's like
Yeah,
that.
no, I definitely agree with you. I can't like if a white person here is offended by you said the word nigga, can you please explain why? I think that there's no other answer except for what she just said. I honestly can't construe anything else. Brento,
Well, it would
you're on mute.
probably be the same reason that like some black people say it's inappropriate, right? In any context.
No,
Because
some black
this word
people say
is-
it's inappropriate because they say the historical context is too great. There's no way you can change this word to be good. So I disagree with it, but there's a reason that they can give. But I want to understand from my liberal friends here, what exactly is so upsetting to you outside of not being able to use the word yourself? Like I actually want to hear.
DB literally
I don't wanna
just
speak
said
for them, but
like,
it's like-
the argument for it, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
So-
literally the same reasoning for most of these people.
I can say I'm not offended by other people using it, but what I have heard from like the black people
Okay.
that I know in my life, they don't think anybody should be able to say it.
Including
And
black people?
including black people. And again, it might be because I'm hanging out with like an older generation or something like that, or I don't know, but they don't think anybody should say it. So that's just what I've learned, right? Like that's what I've heard, but also I think it's making. I think there is something to say about the use of a word, putting it out into a vocabulary, right? And once you make that regular vocabulary for yourself, even if somebody else doesn't intend to use it, I feel like it increases the risk of that person accidentally saying it one day or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
If that makes sense.
I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That-
Hold on 1 second. Tiffany has had her hand up for a while, so I just want to. I'm gonna move on from this topic soon because it's exhausting me.
Yes. Fuck. God damn.
Tiff.
Oh no, my hand was up to say what I wanted to say beforehand, where some people might feel uncomfortable because they hear a word, even though you say a bunch of bad words, they hear a word that they think they're not allowed to say for A, B, or C reason, which is granted there are good reasons they shouldn't say them, but they don't say it, and other people say it, so they might be uncomfortable because they themselves cannot use that word. So it's, I don't know, it's like everyone can use bitch, everyone can say the C word, everyone can use a bunch of different terms, but that word specifically might cause some friction. And that's what I was saying earlier, and I was in agreement with GSU about that.
Okay, great. So
I think it's
I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of this. I think we've run this into the ground. Thanks. Great.
for sure.